quick fire questions to start with. What is your best business achievement so far?
GRAEL.
What about it?
Literally starting it from scratch from my kitchen with no idea of what I was doing to building it to what it is now with a staff of 12.
Is it 12?
Yeah. Staff of 12 and turning around average about 300 pairs of shoes a week. Starting with my own ones and my wife's in my kitchen. So
we're going to get into it. 2016, was it?
Yeah.
2016. Yeah. We'll go into that because the business itself is so unique, isn't it?
Yeah.
The people that do it, I think it's maybe a bit of an online thing now, maybe as well.
Yeah, it's one of them because, and same for myself, it was so cheap and easy to set up.
Yeah.
So you get yourself a brush and a cleaning solution and a bit of water, a bit of shoe cleaner, you know what I mean? So it's what comes with it. It's the next step, taking it to where it can be. It's the mistakes along the way. Yeah.
Cool. Second question, what is your favourite brand to come out of Liverpool in the past 5 to 10 years?
Oh, wow. Okay. To come out of Liverpool.
It's a tough one.
It is a tough one.
Well, I find that most often than not, you will have favourite brands or things that come to mind, but you never actually know where they're from, unless it's a blatant Liverpool brand, like a lot of people say, like Frequency or Montrex or whatever. But
yeah,
do you have anything that comes to mind?
No, the reason being is because it sounds bad, and this is nothing against brands as a whole. Because of the job I do now, I look at the quality of everything. Okay. And I'm like, that's just... could be so much better. Yeah.
So it's like the opposite of what you would think. So I would think straight away, you might, I don't know, this is a really poor example. I don't mean to offend you by using this brand, but like Balenciaga, for example, or whatever you might attach to that because that's, I guess, the trade that you're in. But actually, it would be the opposite. You just wouldn't even consider those as being...
No, so I look at all the shoes now and look at the faults, and I personally struggle now. I was only going on about this the other day. Like, I cannot find a pair of shoes I want to buy now because I'm looking at everything and I'm pointing out faults.
Everything, yeah. What would be your go-to now?
I honestly, at the moment, I really like what Adidas is doing with like the specials and all that type of thing, like the handball versions of them and all that type of thing, rather than designer stuff, which was probably me go-to in the past. Yeah. Because I look at them and think, wow, I'm spending all that money on that, and the quality that's coming out.
Every state as well, probably.
100%.
Yeah. Cool. Third question. Favourite place in Liverpool to relax?
Apart from my home.
You can say your home if you want.
Do you know what? I'm a home bird in that sense. Like, I love just chilling at home. I used to be out all the time when I was a lot younger. Like,
that's actually been the most popular answer so far. People have said home.
That's my little safe place, just like on my couch in front of me telly.
And I'm assuming you live in Liverpool.
Yeah.
I was going to say it can be your home, but then you might not live in Liverpool.
Well, that's what I mean. I live by Sefton Park, so I've got Sefton Park, Lark Lane on my doorstep. So it's nice.
Brilliant. Last one. What's one thing you wish people knew about you that they probably don't? It goes deep, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Or maybe if you struggle with that, it doesn't have to be that you wish people knew about you, but maybe just something that people don't know about you.
That they don't know about me. I don't know. I think if I wish people knew, it was just me as a person, because I feel like I can, bit of a chameleon, I can get on with anyone. Yeah. Like, any person that walks through that door, I can instantly get on with, and we can have a chat about anything. Yeah. And there'll be some customer, like my staff will look at me and go, how the hell have you just done that? Yeah. Because they'll come in, the most hard-faced person, or someone from a different walk of life, and I'll be chatting away to them all day. And
would you put that down to communication, personality?
A bit of both. It's how I grew up. It was a lot from my dad and how he taught me from my previous businesses.
Okay. We'll go into that.
Yeah, we'll go into that. Yeah.
Well, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
We do drop you in the deep end a little bit with the questions, but I think it's really good for people just to get an immediate feel of who you are and whether they want to carry on listening or watching, and hopefully they do. So, obviously, Michael Achilleos. Would you like to confirm the pronunciation before we started? Obviously, the owner of GRAEL, and people will probably recognise you whether they go use your service or not, or the podcast, obviously, that you've got now. You've got a good following on socials as well, so I'm sure people might be familiar with your face, but maybe not your name in some cases. Yeah. So that was me. I knew your face. I'd been in the shop before, but I wasn't aware of your name.
Well, I said to you previously, because my dad was Greek, so I got a bit of a foreign look to me. Yeah. People think my name's GRAEL, but it's not. It's Michael.
It would suit. Cool. Just to start off with, we'll just touch on the branding thing, and then we'll go into the story and stuff. You mentioned a few things that I want to sort of go into already, but what does the word brand mean to you?
It's everything. So when I did start the business, I one of my biggest things was to create a brand. I didn't want to just go in and have something which just had no feeling behind it. I wanted everything to fit in with that brand. So when I came up with the name GRAEL, I also went to a branding company, Black and Ginger, who designed everything, even down to the lettering, my own lettering for the
Instead
logo.
of just a basic font.
Yeah. The dots, there's meaning behind the dots, the way the wording is spelt, because GRAEL is obviously not usually spelt that way. It's GRAIL. We switched it to the E, so the A centered more. So we could have the dot above the A, which I think is the French spelling.
Yeah.
That fits in with an eyelet on a shoe. So it all fits in. So I wanted everything to be perfect, and I wanted it because my previous business was fish and chips, so you don't look at branding for fish and chips as such. So yeah, I wanted it to be a brand that was strong. It looked classy, high end. That's what, clean.
Clean, isn't it?
I looked at, we mentioned before, Balenciaga, and anything like that. They're just literally the name, as simple as that. And that's what I wanted. But I wanted people to look and go, that looks cool. Yeah.
I think we're probably going to get on. I think this is the first time I've had a guest on the podcast that has probably a similar appreciation for brand than I do.
Oh, yeah.
Because we dug into, we've had some great guests, really good guests on the podcast. A lot of them are usually individuals. So the idea of the podcast is to flick between personal brands and what we would call like a logo brand, or, for example. You've actually got both, which is quite unique, isn't it? You've got a personal brand, or you're in, whether it's intentional or not, you're growing a personal brand as the owner of GRAEL.
Yeah.
But obviously you've got the brand.
Oh, 100%. That's one thing. Obviously, at the beginning, I was front of house, everything. So people knew me through that, but it was just all that, like, I want everyone to know GRAEL, and there shouldn't be anyone in Liverpool who doesn't know what GRAEL is. Yeah. But then I learned, and it's social media for you. Yeah. I'm not the biggest fan of it because I grew up without it, but I understand how important it is. So that's where bringing my own podcast into it as well, to basically get my personality, because it sounds big-headed. My clientele, like, love me so much. They love spending time chatting to me, and I get on so well with them. So
it's a way of giving them a little bit more of that.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, and it works both ways sometimes, because they expect when I can't really deliver, but they expect.
They want your undivided attention every time.
100%. Like, they'll walk in and, where is he?
Yeah.
And I could not be him, but they'll want me to be the person that I'm.
That's one example, but that's actually quite common, isn't it, with the personal brand? That's why people sometimes tend to avoid it or will move away from it, because of that undivided attention that people expect, because everyone feels like they know you, don't they? When you're a personal brand, they feel like, because they see you so often, they feel like they know you, and in reality, they don't. They know the surface level. Yeah,
because I'm more interested in them. I'll be asking them 100 questions just to make sure they're the most important person in that shop at that time, because that's what you're paying for, the service.
That's the experience, but that feeds into the brand that you mentioned, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And that's why I said why I did the podcast, so I can get more of that across, and it's more content for the socials. Yeah. But we found with the podcast, it's been great because of the relationship I have with my clients and everything like that, that people are approaching us and saying, can we come on the podcast? Yeah. And it's great. And it's not what I expected. Yeah. So we've released 2. We've got another one dropping hopefully the next week with our first guest as well. So
it's a whole new world, isn't it? The podcast stuff.
100%.
But it's good. The collaboration side of it, the stuff that I like. I've always been like team focused, so I tried to build this team as quick as it made sense to, basically. Team sport. It's always been team based, and the collaboration comes in it for me. So essentially, lending other people's audiences, like you being on this podcast, I'd be lying if I didn't say there was an advantage for us to share your audience when we share it. But it works both ways, doesn't it? It's a collaboration, and that's the reason why we do the podcast. And like I said, off camera in a bit, we'll go through the business stuff and it'll make more sense. But it's cool. It's cool. So we're going to start with early life. Generally on these episodes, we like to think forward, or I think current and forward, rather than, I feel like a lot of podcasts talk in hindsight, which we try and avoid. But everything's built on early life. I feel like you got a lot to say on early life. Yeah. So who is Michael?
So I was just a dead shy kid growing up. I my mum used to send me into the shop to get me crisps and that for me, pack lunch and that, because she knew I wouldn't do it if, like, I had to. Do you know what I mean? She'd force me to go. She'd kick me out the car and go and do it. And I was dead shy. So fast forward to when I actually went into the family business, which was fish and chips. I was, again, my dad was like, no, you stand there and you talk to customers. And that's what sort of molded me into be able to do what I do now, in that sense of...
It's like a polar opposite now, isn't it?
100%. And the mad thing, isn't it? I said this, like, if you were to put me, like, I'm a married man and everything now, but if I was to have to go to town now and try and chat to a girl, couldn't do it. I haven't got the confidence to do that. But if I was able to take a counter with me and walk it around with me, everyone, I'd be chatting to everyone. So that is my little safety, like net. Like
start talking about the trainers first and then just go from there.
Well, that's how I sort of grew my business. I don't know if you knew the story of how I was in town. And
No.
I got drunk. I took a load of business cards with me. I was on an event at Camp and Furnace. I got drunk and I literally just went round to people who were wearing designer shoes and went, I clean shoes, there's a business card. And I just touched luck with one of them who had a good following. He jumped on me. And then it sort of
that was it from there.
Reposted and, as you said, collaborating, and just went from there, and it grew like quite quickly. Probably.
It's nice and organic that way, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it probably grew a little bit too quick for me to keep up, which is not a complaint. But
in terms of what, like business operations, you as a person?
Yeah, I was getting too busy too fast, so I couldn't keep up with the demand at one point, especially when I opened the shop, and then I'm trying to get staff in time and stuff like that. So my social suffered on that side.
Yeah.
I'd literally only post if it dropped off a little bit, like gone a bit quiet. I'd put a post out, then it'd fly back in, just a little reminder that we're still there. Which was annoying because I should have been right on top of that. I shouldn't have allowed any other ones to even open in Liverpool because they just dominated it. I should have had another couple of shops by now, but it's good problems to have.
Yeah. Well, that's all the journey of the business, isn't it? If it was all perfect, everyone would be doing it. And they're not. So you mentioned there about fish and chips, and so tell me a little bit more about your childhood and where did you grow up? What was
So grew up Egbert, just by Liverpool Cricket Club. Good upbringing, mum and dad. My dad, as I said, he was Greek, usual Greek business, fish and chip shops. My mum was stay-at-home mum, so she was one we were with all the time. My dad was one of them. He just had a Sunday off, so out every Sunday, like Wales, everything like that, just driving everywhere. He made sure we went out every Sunday. Went to New A's. Don't know if you know New A's. It's not there anymore. It's been knocked down, but not the greatest of schools.
Okay.
You had like PE teachers teaching you science and stuff like that. It wasn't the greatest, but I loved it in the aspect of I met all my mates that I'm still that close with.
All right.
So yeah, done school, went to Widnes sixth form after that, done me A-levels there, and then went to university, Hope, and done business information management, which was more computer than I thought it was going to be. I didn't really take much from it, but I did it, and that was that. Yeah. And I thought, honestly, I'd just go into like an office job. At the time, I was working in BT in call centre.
Okay. What age are we talking about here now?
This is all around about 19, 20. So I was working with BT. I was a call centre. I was a team manager there. And I was just like, I don't want to do this. And at the same time, I'm looking at my brother, my elder brother, who'd gone into business with my dad in the chippies.
Yeah. And
he's driving around at the age of like 25 in a brand new Porsche or a brand new Mercedes. And I'm like, that looks all right. So like I literally didn't even apply for a job. I was just like, Dad, I want to come into the family business. So that was it. Went into the chippy with them. We had a big one in Warrington. And then just, sort of went from there. My dad semi-retired, so me and my brother took over. And then we eventually sold that shop, and it was freehold, so we got a good amount for it. It was a big shop. And then we all got our own individuals.
Yeah.
Fish and chip shops then.
Oh, nice.
So my one was based in St. Helens.
Whereabouts in St. Helens?
What the hell was it? Sutton Leach.
Yeah. So it's sort of this end anyway, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Wait, I'm from Widnes, so like that, for me, that end of St. Helens.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Closest side of St. Helens.
I've had them in Widnes as well.
Yeah.
I've had two in Widnes.
Really?
Yeah.
How long ago?
Oh, years.
Years
and years ago. Do you know where Widnes sixth form is?
Well,
it's now Holton sixth form, I think.
You've got Riverside and Cronton.
Cronton,
yeah.
So
I did, before I started my apprenticeship when I was 16, I did a day at Cronton sixth form.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
And did an apprenticeship literally down the road here.
Ah, right, okay. Well, do you know the roundabout at the top is the Black Horse, is it?
Yeah, it's a thing, isn't it? The garage.
Yeah.
It's a pesto now.
Ah, right, okay. Well, there's a chippy there that used to be years ago. Yeah. So that was one of them.
Because there's a lot of Greek chippies in Widnes. Maybe two or three?
Yeah, there's loads.
Probably more than that.
Probably, yeah. But that was the thing. So, because that's what my dad knew, like I've sort of got this a little bit from my dad. People tell me others, but like he was never one to take a risk. So if my dad would have took the risks that he would presented with, he would have been
in terms of expansion and things, or
just different businesses.
Oh, okay.
But he was like, no, chippy. Right. So he would have been a multi-millionaire by now. Yeah, he literally. We sold the shop that we had in Warrington at the time. We got a good bit amount of money for that. He was always, let's go and buy more chippies, but do what Greeks do. We'll build them up, we'll rent them out and move on to the next one. We were like, no, let's go into property.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I'm not taking the risk on that. And then we bought 3 chippies and they were all just average at best.
Okay.
So we all got stuck in them. Yeah. So I ended up stuck in my St. Helens one for like over 10 years.
Running it like hand.
Yeah.
So what age would that have been then when you...
So I was in that from roughly around about 23, 24, I'd say, yeah.
Quite young to be in your own business. Especially bricks and mortar as well.
Yeah, and it was at the time, so it was before I met my wife, I was with someone else. We just bought a house, so we were trying to do that up, and we were like, it was just, there was no life.
Just chaos, shit.
Yeah, I was like, get up at 6:30, 7:30, I'd be in the shop for about 7:30, 8:00, and then I'm not coming home until 11 o'clock at night. And I was just like, what am I doing?
Yeah, and it's not even like your weekend off, is it?
No, we got a Sunday off, that was it. Yeah. So I'd come home on Saturday night, finish work at 11, I'd drive home, be home at 11:30, quick shower, and I'd be out then, not coming until 6 in the morning, because that was the only time I got to go.
That was your outlet, wasn't
it? So
how long did you have that chippy for?
I think I had that. So I got rid of that in like 2016, because I sort of, the businesses crossed over because I knew the sale was coming. So I must have had that for a good 12, 13, 14 years, something like that.
That's some graft gone into that.
Yeah, it was. Don't get me wrong. I got nice holidays and everything else. I'd never say I didn't do well out of it. I definitely did, but lifestyle, especially for a young lad, it wasn't. It wasn't.
So greatest. So that's going from 2016. Obviously, GRAEL was born in 2016. Mm-hmm. So what did the transition between that? Like, obviously, you said they overlapped a little bit, but how have you gone from owning a chippy to owning? Yeah. Like, what would you class it as? Shoe repair?
It's shoe and bag restoration company. Yeah. So I was literally, it was just by chance I put the shop up for sale. The fella who had the news agent shop next door, he was like, I'll buy it off you. I was like, yeah, whatever. He's like, no, I will. I was like, just like that. And he went, yeah, no, I'll give you the deposit today. And he literally brought a check in. I was like, well, okay, right. I need to get me things sorted here to try and decide what I'm going to do next. So initially, because of all I've ever known, really for a long time, was food. I was like, what am I going to do in food? I don't want another chippy. I don't want this sort of lifestyle of working 24/7, especially for the age I am. So I was actually going to do a New York deli style thing, because I've been to New York. I love New York. They've got a deli, sandwiches are that thick. And I was like, that's the way forward. So I looked into that, and I was actually Googling stuff for America, and I just came across a business in LA at the time, Jason Mark, who's got a cleaning product. And he started with a shop in LA, just cleaning shoes. Okay. And then he had his accounts on there as well. So I was looking at what he was actually making in his first year. That could be interesting. And it was at the sort of point where designer footwear was making a bit of a comeback. So I was like, let's have a look at that. So I looked into how easy it was to do in the sense of the cleaning side of it, like for a basic leather shoe. I was like, let's just have a go. So I set up a company, set up an Instagram account, and I got bits and bobs doing my own shoes, my wife's shoes, friends' shoes. And then I was like, right, no, I'm going to do this. Spoke to people about it. They sort of all writ it off. Like, that's never going to work. But I was like, no, I'm going to give it a go. And then, as I said, that one drunken night, I went and found Black and Ginger as me marketing. I told them what I wanted to do. I had the money now through from the sale of the shop. And I was like, no, I'm going to do this properly. And then, because Black and Ginger at the time, Alex, he was based on Jamaica Street. I was like, it's cool around here, isn't it? Didn't really know much about Jamaica Street. And he was like, when you get a shop around here, then it's definitely up and coming. I was like, okay. And then where the shop is, though, there was one empty unit there. So
because they don't come up.
No, my one was joint with next door, so there was no wall.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I spoke to the landlord, and he's like, I'll put the wall back up. Okay. Go to the ad, because I could do with the space now.
The shot,
But yeah, so took it on, as I said, did it all properly, done the branding properly, and then just eventually
went from there.
Yeah, launched it properly. And I had my first GRAEL. So
that's crazy. I think the first time I came was a long time ago.
Yeah,
I reckon it was what we're now 2025. It might have only been open a couple of years, maybe 2018. Maybe.
Right. Okay.
That was the first time I came, I think. But then I feel like like the designer footwear. Well, I started running a business, and then you buy houses and things, and all of a sudden designer footwear is a bit lower on your priorities. But it'd be interesting to get your take on that, actually, where the market's going. But so we're at 2016. You started it, and then what kind of growth did you see? Was it quick? You mentioned about maybe some overwhelming things growing really quickly, but did it grow financially and in terms of the work in parallel, or did you have any financial issues where maybe you had to adjust your pricing, or was there anything you had to?
No, it sort of went hand in hand. Because there's minimum overheads in that, you're literally paying. At the time, I didn't have many staff, probably around the time you came yourself. Plus, what you're spending out on product, it's minimal. Yeah, like a bottle of solutions, 8-9 quid. Yeah. So brushes, the paint, stuff like that. There's nothing. Your biggest outputs, your staff and your rent, and that's it. So on that side, I was actually fairly well off, especially at the beginning, because obviously those outputs then
margins were pretty
but then I did hit a point where I think as I said, I grew so fast I didn't look after the socials that it did drop off maybe a little bit, because I just couldn't keep up with the demand. So maybe the quality of what I was turning around wasn't as good. Stuff was going out not finished to the standard that I would have liked. I was just literally, let's just get it out, get the numbers done. And it might have been after lockdown, in all honesty, where I was able to reset, have a think about it. We came back to work, and people's attitudes changed slightly just after lockdown, because we couldn't do anything, you couldn't go anywhere, so people were in no rush to get these shoes back. So we were a bit like, well, why are we sticking to the time frame of, right, 3 days you got your shoes back, and putting all that pressure on ourselves? Yeah. Why don't we see if the customer is okay for us to extend them a little bit longer and do it that way? If they're in no rush, we put the ones who were in the rush at the beginning, and then we put these on.
So segment it a little bit.
Yeah, so since really lockdown, what we've done is just done that sort of trial and error type period where which works better for us to try and get the best quality work out.
Does it change seasonal?
Yeah.
So I imagine festivals is a big thing.
Yeah, so like you people think January would be a quiet one. It's actually a busy one because they've all been out over Christmas. Plus they've got the new Christmas shoes and stuff like that. So they want to keep on top. But then you hit February, March, there's nothing going on. Everyone's skimmed from Christmas. So that's when you know. But then as soon as you hit April, you've got Easter and everything like that. So then it picks right up. The holidays start then. So you then chocker right up into about October. The kids go back in September. So again, they're all skimmed from summer, paying off the holidays. So you're going to have probably roughly a quiet October, half of November, and Christmas kicks in.
And what have you got in terms of repeat custom? Because I imagine, so there's two things that you've mentioned that would straight away, on the business mind, I go straight to repeat custom. One of them is earlier on when you said about being a bit of a chameleon and making conversation and being able to chat with anybody. That to me would maybe come back. Secondly, you mentioned, what did you mention just then? It's gone on my mind. You mentioned, it's gone.
What was on about?
What was the other thing you mentioned then about repeat custom? There's something else. But anyway, we'll stick on. We've got one at least. So what do you see in terms of a split of repeat custom? Do you get a lot of people that just come once, or do you get people that come back over and over again?
No, we get a lot of
remember it was the quality. So you mentioned about COVID, maybe like the volume being higher, which means the end product might not have been as good. That to me could then obviously impact people coming back.
100%.
So where do you see it in terms of repeat custom and new custom?
Now, repeat custom is quite big, especially because of what we can offer with the technical side of it, like the repair side of it. Like, I don't think there's really anyone else in the city who's doing it, and probably England for that. Like there is one in Scotland, but to do what we can do with regards to the repair and what we've got a lady works with called Lindsay, who's from a company down south who went into liquidation, but they were ridiculous on what they could do to a bag, a shoe, clothes, when it comes to repairs, to like leather. She's trained by, it was called The Restory. I don't know if you ever saw them. Massive company, but they sold out to an American company, and they self-employed all the staff. It never worked. Self-employed them all told them to work from home, and they delivered the goods to them. The prices were...
Tried to cash cow it, strip all the cost.
Oh, massively. So, like, for example, we do, like, a scuff on a shoe could be, like, £10 to fix that scuff on a shoe. And that's so it's invisible. They were charging, like, £110. So, obviously, if it was London prices, ridiculous. Yeah. But people were buying it, but then they just went a mess, liquidated.
Regret doing that.
Loads of people, lost all the goods because they were just held in storage somewhere. They couldn't get their items back. But Lindsay, she moved to Liverpool and she works with me now. So she's been a godsend for, because it's took us to that next sort of level. So that, on the repeat of that, the like spreading of the word, basically, that's my, like, makes me most happiest probably. When someone comes in and goes, "Oh, I was told by my mate," or I heard nothing but good things about you.
That's what I got from an ex-partner.
Was it?
Yeah, it was bigger with like designer. At the time, it's probably like Alexander McQueen's and all that type of stuff. And then I think at the time I had like a couple of pairs like D squared or something. Obviously, not many people have D squared anymore, do they? But that would have been D squared. But now it's all like, well, I've got someone like Asics and New Balance and stuff. How do you find them?
That's the biggest. It's so easy to do.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest trend shift that's happened. Is like people's going out, like rig outs have completely changed because they go out earlier and they can wear, like you said, Asics, New Balance, everything like that. So we see a massive influx of them. You don't really see. You do see them, but designer shoes compared to that is probably like 70-30.
Right.
And it's like everyone was wearing B22s, Dior, stuff like that. That sort of tailed off as well. You only get a few pairs of them. Like the Scout lad now is wearing like Bellutis, Loro Pianas, stuff like that. Like brands that you'd see 6 years ago on an old man. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's a crazy
That's
one.
Old money thing, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
Don't you do a subscription service as well?
Yeah, so we do a VIP service where you can pay, you get pick-up delivery, you get discounts on the cleans, you get like dust bags, stuff like that with it as well.
That's quite cool. I actually seen when I was, I sort of worked my way through the website and stuff, because I've only ever used GRAEL for what I needed it for. I've never really looked any further into anything like that. I always liked the brand and stuff, and that's what probably popped into my mind when I was looking for podcast guests. But I think one thing that came to mind, I think there's a lot of parallels between what you've done with shoe restoration and bag restoration with barbering. I don't know why. My barber is unreal at what he does, but the sort of people don't think of it as being an expandable business. It's like a self-employed thing, isn't it? But I've been trying to get into do subscriptions for haircuts, and nobody's ever done it. And then when I seen it on your website, I was like, it's just an idea that you can put in place that I really do think people would go for. It's the consistency of it, isn't it?
Well, barbering's a perfect one. I think that's a good one, because it's not just going getting a one on the back and sides. Now it's all the fades and everything like that, and it's made barbering cool again, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, well, there's people, mates that I have, who go every Friday to get their haircut. I do every 2 weeks, but I think it's subscription. Well, it's just something that popped in mind when I seen it. And there's a couple of things on the website. I think you just do things differently. It's like you blended like a business model that isn't supposed to be around clothing restoration in general, and sort of brought them both together, which is interesting.
Yeah, and that's what I like. It is. I wanted to make it that it'll be, oh, you've been to GRAEL, that's cool. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like if you see someone with a GRAEL bag, which like a GRAEL dust bag, it's like, that
like a bunch of
GRAEL. Yeah.
Well, that's all the brand, isn't it?
And that's it. I didn't want, because initially the name of the business, and that wasn't until I went to the branding company, was going to be Fresh. Yeah.
Would have been a bit generic.
Oh, and he was like, Fresh. And I was like, yeah, because people say you got fresh webs. I said, we're literally sticking to Liverpool. And if you type Fresh into Google, you're literally bringing up like fresh food. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not the thing. Yeah. We should have had that good advice from the start, though.
100%.
Yeah. You mentioned you have 12 members of our team of 12. Mm-hmm. Where are they? Because, like you said, you need more space.
So there's usually 5 or 6 of us downstairs, and then we have 3 upstairs. So on a daily, you're having like about 8 or 9 people in there. But in total, there's 12, obviously, with shifts and everything like that.
And what generally, skill set wise, are they all restoration, or do they do things?
Yeah, so the ones that work upstairs are all your painting, your repairs, stuff like that. we sort of outsource to different things as well. So we have someone who does all the stitching repairs, sole repairs, stuff like that as well. But generally in the shop, the people who are based downstairs can do everything.
Okay.
As in the cleaning aspect of it. The upstairs, that's the specialist. That's your leather repairs. And
I think you've done sliders for me before.
Right.
Where, you know, the Gucci sliders that green and red, because they scuff really easily. And I actually need them doing again, to be honest. I wear them for the house renovation and everything. They're just indestructible.
Yeah.
I was going to say something else. With the team and everything, what kind of experience have you had building a team? Because you mentioned, obviously, you were a bit shyer when you were younger, and obviously you've developed this personality that's quite outgoing.
Yeah.
How did you find growing a team from a business perspective?
I've been lucky with the team because a lot of them become through friends and stuff like that. Yeah. So I've known a lot of the people that now work for me before they've even started to work for me. And then when it's come to actual training side, it's been, touch wood, very easy.
Okay.
Because they're not stupid. They're like, as much as people think just cleaning the shoes dead easy, it's not, because every shoe's different. You can make it, like, without having to, there was a lad who worked for another shoe cleaning company who went bust, so he came and worked for me, and I thought, oh, he'll know what to do straight away. Walked in, said all he ever deals with is designer brands, big designer brands. I was like, he knows what he's doing. First day, absolutely ruined a pair of 1,300 quid Chanel trainers on me. And it's like, right, but all my staff know not to touch that, because they know what works and what doesn't. So that's probably the hardest bit, is making sure they understand every individual part of a shoe that can damage. Yeah. So what I do is just one-on-one. You do one shoe, I do one shoe.
Okay.
And that's how we work out. The same with any section of that business, the way it's run.
Are you talking about from like a training perspective, or just in general?
Just from a trainer's training. Yeah. So once they come in, it's like, right, you're just literally shadowing me today. Yeah. And then once I feel like someone else is capable of doing that. Sure.
And how much of it do you do on a daily basis now, in terms of the actual restoration yourself?
I'm there. I try and have 2 days off a week. Okay. Sometimes 3 if I've got other stuff. I'm rubbish when it comes to admin, so I'd rather do the hard graft. So I have people who I can just go, right, do these things for me, get it all out the way. So I'm happy to do the hard graft and get stuck in. And maybe that's a bit of a downfall of my side, of whether I'm not trusting them enough to just lead and to crack on with it at the moment. Whereas,
I mean, you're still half the week in it.
Yeah. It's as I said, because I'm there all the time, I need to probably go, no. Like today, for example, I've took myself away. I've left them to it, and I know they'll be fine. Yeah. But just that little thing, and that's all. I've always been like that. Yeah.
It's difficult.
I've always been so hands-on.
It's not, I feel like it's not a black or white situation either. It's not you either trust them or you don't, or you can leave them or you can't. There's like this period where you train your mind to just let go a little
100%. And I think that's a lot of my dad. And my dad, he was another one who, until he passed 3 years ago, he was still working. He was due to have his 70th birthday, and he was literally
just grafting,
just day in, day out in the chippy, like wouldn't stop.
Is that a family thing? Yeah.
Is it? I definitely take after my dad with that one, like 100%. Like
you mentioned your brothers, didn't you?
So I've got a brother who we were in business together, and then we actually did another 2 businesses after the chippy. So there's another little in between period. Now, did you ever, probably on holiday, you've seen them, where the fish tanks where you put your feet?
Yeah.
So there was a
big boom with that, though, weren't there?
Well, we were one of the booms. So there was a woman who was in the Trafford Centre who had one, and it was chocker. And she'd done it all right. She brought in the fella who'd done that big fish tank in Dubai, the world's biggest fish tank, whatever. Yeah. He came in and set everything up for it the way it was all done. And she had the franchise going on. So we took one of the franchises out, and it was amazing. It was about, at the time, we had it in Chester, we were doing about 12 to 15 grand a week. It was unreal. Good wages at the end of it. And then the Sun printed an article saying that there's a chance, if the water's not filtered properly, you could get diseases like hepatitis. Okay. Now, there was never the same water in because it was all done properly. But that business went from 12 grand down to 500 quid a week.
Right.
So it was like, wow, okay. So what do we do next? Now, we always had an interest in paranormal. So we ended up setting up a ghost hunting company. Yeah. And we were taking people out to different locations, doing that type of thing. But I still had the chippy on the go, so I'm trying to do both.
Yeah.
He was coming to the end of the fish thing, So we were just like, oh, that's too much. So he sort of took it on, and he's now ended up with a pub in Chester, which is classed as haunted. He's done a hotel on top of it with all big haunted experience, and he's actually got a TV show on the back of it on Amazon Prime. So he's done well out of it.
Oh my God. This is like the entrepreneurial spirit is like live and kicking.
Oh, massively. So yeah, he's smashed it with all that. Like people, again, a bit like myself, said that'll never work.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with that. But yeah, he's
the most unique ideas, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So he's cracking on with that. He lives those ways now. So yeah, I think he's got 3 locations now doing it.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm glad we didn't skip over that bit of the podcast.
I know, I completely forgot about that. It's one of them things because you missed that out of your life because it was like, you just remember Chippy.
Yeah.
That was it.
It's hard. Sometimes you'll know yourself from doing your own podcast. You got to pick up on things, haven't you? Like we had the last guest we had did like an hour episode, and then he told me after the episode that like when he was younger he got ran over and this fella picked the car up himself. And I was like, will you tell me on the podcast?
Wow, okay.
But so you got to try and pick up on the little
bit, definitely.
So you mentioned it sounds like your dad was like a big driving force.
Yeah.
Is that the same for your brother as well?
Yeah, like we were there close to me dad. Like we lost him just completely out of the blue, and it was so horrible the way it happened because he went for an operation and it did go right.
Right.
And it was, I don't want to like put it down on him.
No,
basically.
It's your story.
Yeah, it was a heart operation, but the actual surgeon that was doing it was a student, and he made a mistake and he nicked part of the heart wall, which just went to pop, basically.
You think that doesn't happen, do you?
No, and it wasn't until, because I remember we got called in for that, as the main surgeon come in and said, right, there's been complications when he was getting a new ventricle.
Okay.
And when we were putting it in, we think we've nicked a bit, and we've managed to save him, blah, blah, blah. He lasted 2 weeks, and then basically it just sort of went pop. Yeah, so, but we sat with the head surgeon about that, and he sat with us and he was dead honest, and he said, was it your fault? And he said, yeah. And I just knew he sat there just thinking, wow, okay.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
How do you react? How do you even...
Don't even know how you process that, because you can kick off, you can do all this, but it's not going to do anything.
You almost don't want to be left sort of in the unknown, but it'd almost be easier.
Yeah, definitely. It was, and it was, I think because even the people on the ward were calling him the miracle man, because for what he'd been through, he shouldn't be alive. But after a week of being in a coma, they brought him round, and he was just sat there, just all sound. And then, yeah, it just went, one day he went like that, just gone. And it was down to that, what they'd done. They'd literally gone from like a 3 mil little cut to 4 centimeters. And they said they tried to stitch it, but his heart wall had gone like tissue paper. So he just said there's nothing we could do.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so losing him was massive, because obviously it's one of them where that was the person who always spoke to about business and went to it and everything like that, and you just like, wow,
everything rolled into one. Mentor, friend.
It was just, yeah, but also it was the fact that because my mum was a stay-at-home, she's a housewife, that's the Greek way, traditional way. He goes out to work, she stays home, looks after the home. I then have to take on the role of basically being my dad to my mum, and like looking after them. And because my dad was from Cyprus, he's got a lot of stuff in Cyprus that needed taken care of as well. So I'm still in the process 3 years later of only potentially getting to the end of that now. Okay. That's how long it's taken. But whilst juggling all the business side of everything, and then also trying to look after my mum, make sure she's all right. And my brother, don't get me wrong, he's been there as well, but because he lives in Chester,
yeah, it's
been difficult, because obviously I'm the one who's there.
The close by.
Constantly. So yeah, that's been hard, but it's one of them.
You mentioned about like the Greek way a few times.
Yeah.
And obviously I've linked the entrepreneurial spirit, obviously starting with your dad and then going through the family. Is the entrepreneurial spirit a Greek thing?
Yeah, I would say so, because you do find the majority of Greek. So we never grew up with Greek. My dad was never a big fan of Greek Cypriots or anything like that. He was literally the Greek community. He tried to stay away because he always thought they talk behind each other's back too much. They like to gossip. But since having GRAEL, a lot of the Greek community come to me now, and I've got to know them all quite well, and I get on really well with them. But I'd say 90% of them, even touching maybe 100% of them, are all self-employed.
Yeah, that's the impression I got.
Yeah, thinking about it now, every single one, either a family business like I've done, or took on their own and done their own thing. Yeah, that's
crazy. There's a Greek family that's in with Nasuba. I'm pretty sure they own all the chippies. I think it's maybe one main family, and they were the same. And honestly, and the nicest people you could have. And I think they grew up in I went to school with like the daughters and cousins and stuff, and they're just a huge family. But they're all self-employed.
Yeah,
they all work for themselves.
Yeah, no, it is. I've never even thought about it like that way, but yeah,
it's crazy. What's next for GRAEL? Oh well, now I know what's next. Full stop. Like what ideas do you have?
I've always I've spoke to my wife about this. I don't see myself in another 10 years' time standing behind the counter cleaning shoes. I don't want to do that. So I'd love to be able to grow it to a point where and that's on me, where I'm not doing that. I've got maybe another 2-3 shops all running themselves. I spoke about on one of the previous podcasts, I'm not sure if you've seen the clip, about a consultancy firm.
Yes, I did, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think anyone does it. I know they do in-house ones, but I don't think it's the same as when someone's dealing with that shoe on a day-to-day basis, if that makes sense. So I'd love to be able to approach companies and say, listen, let me help you get the best from your shoe because I can tell you what your faults are.
To the shoe brand, the shoe manufacturer, so that's where you would take the experience of the quality issues and things like that.
100%, because we see it daily.
Is that a thing?
No. So, for example, I was looking at, they've obviously just opened their big headquarters and they put on a lot of roles that they were advertising for, and one of them was shoe quality control, something like that. But what the whole list of requirements for that person's role was like, wow, they've got a lot to do there. And it was everything down to obviously basically building the shoe, wearing the shoe, but also going sourcing the correct materials and everything like that. And it was like, you're asking a lot of one person here, whereas if you had someone in to basically troubleshoot that shoe and say, right, what you've got wrong here, like there's a certain shoe where the stitching always comes away. We get them all the time. One rips in the exact same place all the time. The soles on Arns and Cleans, they do the same thing all the time. So it's like, surely you must know about these things.
Surely it'd be a cheaper way to get that advice than having to take on someone full time.
%. If you could have us for a day or a week working with you to save for X amount of money and get the best from your shoe. There's one of my clients the other way, again, another one I've become friends with. He does beauty products. Made a lot of money from it. Drives around in his Lamborghini. He must be doing all right.
So what do you say?
Yeah, that's true. So he approaches me the other day. He comes to pick his shoes up and he said, I've just watched you on a TikTok. And I was like, oh, right, okay. Which one? And he told me which one it was. And it was the one I mentioned about the consultancy. And he said, I've got a business proposition for you. I was like, right, where are you going with this? And he said, I'll back you. Let's build our own shoe. And I was like, oh, right, okay. I wasn't expecting that. He said, well, why don't you? He said, you know shoes inside and out. You know what's good. You know what's bad. You build the best shoe that could be. I was like, okay. And he's like, I'll put all the money up. You just do the designs and go over to China and sort it. So that's something I've been looking into, just, when your head starts working overtime.
So where are you at with the idea now?
I'm literally, so in my head, and I've wrote it down on a few bits, I've looked at different brands of shoes, which I think that bit's good. For example, Hogan. Yeah, the Hogan. Yeah. The insoles on them, amazing. Just that alone is just a bit of a game changer for a shoe because the insoles are so comfy.
So you'll be looking to pull different parts of different shoes
and make it into one shoe.
What type of shoe would it be?
He said, well, where we spoke about, he said to make 2 different ones. One which is a smart shoe, like an everyday smart shoe, and then one which is like your New Balance Asics type trainer, and just stick to those 2, and that's it.
The representative started going into the sort of sport shoe now, and I think with the style of like the New Balance. Well, I think the Dior's were the start of that transition from like smart shoe to going back to like what is now like the P6000s and stuff like that. I think they was, and now people have gone from like Dior and then obviously a little bit cheaper, but then start being attracted to like the Asics gels and the P6000.
100%. Like we were looking the other day, Reebok have just dropped ones, and they're absolutely lovely. If you're going for another shoe, if you didn't want to go for your New Balance or your Asics or something like that, they're stunning.
Like generally what you get with trends, isn't it? You'll get like it's not mainstream. I'll use the term mainstream. So the mainstream way of getting this style of shoe now is like your New Balance, your Asics. There's always a segment of people that take it one step further, isn't there?
Yeah.
And they'll go and find like a really old, like a retro shoe, and it's like the same idea, but they're like the ones that have took it even further.
Oh no, 100%. Yeah. That I like that because And I like the collabs that people are doing as well, because I'm one of them who I don't like to follow a trend as such. In the, like, and I know today I'm wearing a pair of like Adidas, but basically that's why I struggle to find footwear, because I want to wear everything that everyone else is wearing, especially now, because said before, I see the issues with them, but everyone's got them. Yeah. So that's why I've been looking at different things. And so I said the Reebok ones, it's Reebok. Yeah. You'd never even think I'd be wearing Reebok again, but I would actually go and buy a pair. Yeah. It's
that's cool. That's where the branding comes in, isn't it? Like the reputation that you've had.
100%. Yeah. It's
but you mentioned like maybe different shops and things like that. How would that work for you?
So as it stands, I've been looking at shops because I feel like it's far enough. I always thought my next shop would have been Manchester.
Okay. Oh, so you would actually go outside the city? I was thinking like 2 or 3 in.
Well, I mean, next one, but it's sort of changed more recently, because I see how much people are, like they say, I've come all the way from like Crosby or Formby or something like that to drop them off today, and it's obviously, and I think, and I've been driving same with Gull to go to the lady who does all the repairs and stuff like that, the stitching repairs, and I think, bloody hell, this is a trek, this. So I'm thinking, if I go up towards like South Road in Crosby or something like that and put a shop there, it's far enough away.
Yeah, it is.
Or and like the amount of affluent people basically you've got around there.
And you got a Formby.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that'd probably be my next one. Just train enough staff up to be able to go and run that. And then just work it out in between, where if they needed repairs doing, then they'd be maybe transferable.
Yeah, like a specialist. Like, it probably, I guess the first idea you go through is just duplicating what you've done.
Yeah.
Probably not the most efficient way of doing it, is it?
Yeah, no, that's it. So I've where we're at the moment is it's basically divvy proof in the sense, if you get what I mean. So we've got everything down to a T. We know exactly where everything is. Everyone's on the ball with everything. Part of it's just been down to the way we do the receipts on, like, when they're dropped in.
Yeah.
Like, no one can make a mistake of what's going on.
Is that in terms of like sort of like I guess like an audit, like a review of what needs to be done?
Yeah.
So how does that work then? Do you do that, or do you have somebody that does that?
We all do it. So everyone's trained in what to do. So we know what to look for on the shoe, but every bit of detail is put in. So the way we do it is basically you drop your shoes on the counter. We take all your details. We do it just through a mobile phone, because we haven't been able to find the software yet that'll enable us to send a picture with the receipt.
All right.
So we do it via just a text message.
So you're taking a picture of the shoe.
So we'll take a picture of the shoe there, and then with the customer, go through it all with them. We take a picture of anything that we see on the shoe that could come back to maybe bite us on the nose. If it's wasn't, they can say it wasn't there before. So we completely cover ourselves. And then we give full description in the text of everything that's getting done to that shoe. So the customer has all that. Yeah. And they bring that back with them when it comes back. So we know when we pull that shoe up to be cleaned, whether it be a week later or a day later, whatever. Oh, does this bit need gluing or painting? Just have a look at the text. It's there.
So it is very efficient.
Yeah. So that's been a bit of a game changer, just that alone, because we weren't that efficient on that side before. And it's sort of like, I'll tell you one, there's a girl who brought in a pair of Louboutin heels, and she just wanted the heel doing them because a dog had chewed it. They were black paint and leather. So took them in, cleaned them, took them upstairs to Lindsay to repair them. Now, on the band that went across the bridge of the foot, the dog had chewed through that as well, but she hadn't wanted that doing.
Okay.
But because the lad who was dealing with it, he's not lit there anymore, he's moved to Ireland, he hadn't put all the details of what it was, so he couldn't remember. So
that it didn't need doing.
It didn't need doing. So Lindsay did it.
Okay.
But the problem is, with it being paint and leather, where that bend of the foot is, it can crack when you put a finisher on them, and that's what happened. So she was bringing them back going, it's cracked. And I was like, oh, we've done this for you as an extra, because I didn't know, because I was away at the time when he took them in. So then she's like, but I didn't want that doing. So now my shoes are ruined.
Sticky situation now,
yeah.
Isn't it?
So she sort of had me over a barrel, because she's saying, but I can't wear them now because they're cracking everywhere. They look terrible. I was like, yeah, but you couldn't wear them before because the dog chewed on them. And she said, but I didn't want those bits doing, and I would have worn them. So in the end, I had to purchase her a new pair.
Is that so? I was going to say, what is the process?
So in the end, I sort of tried to argue the toss a little bit, but I couldn't, because it was our fault, because he'd not took the details. The job had been done, even though we'd done the extra work for her. She still wasn't happy. So then she was like, I can't wear these, and I paid full price on them, even though, and so I'm not just going to accept 150 quid because I'm going to be without a shoe. So I was like, right, okay. So I ended up having to buy a brand new pair.
How much?
900 quid.
It's heartbreaking.
And that was just because someone didn't put the details in. So that's why we made it now idiot. Yeah. If no one can.
Where does that put you with your team members?
How
do you, as a business owner, how do you approach that?
I get that stuff happens, you know what I mean? All I can do is, I'm quite calm, shall we say. But if I go, but it takes a lot for me to really snap, and it only would be if it's something which is just so thick, it's unreal, do you know what I mean? But with that, it was just one of them. I just have to write it off and say, this is why we need this sort of this routine.
There's no, I guess, disadvantage to the team member, so they don't need to cover any costs or anything, or
no. I did sort of say after that one, I said if it's something so blatant now that because there shouldn't be a mistake, you will have to.
It's on you.
Yeah, you'll have to put something up. But it wasn't his first, shall we say? Yeah. And the thing was, he was the person I left in charge, and he was so lovely. And as I said, he's moved to Ireland, and he's a close friend from it now. But he was just a bit dozy sometimes. He there was
do you think it's little things like that you talked about, sort of not quite letting go properly, and then wanting to let.
And that's what brings me back in.
Little scars, aren't
100%, because there was multiple occasions. I say multiple, say 4 or 5 things where I'm like, I could strangle you right now for what you've just done. There was another one. A lad come in, one of the resellers, and all the shoes were there to give to him. For whatever reason, he's grabbed this random pair from somewhere else and give them to him as well. But the lad was a bit of a scally, so I knew he wasn't going to get them back. So I'm ringing him like, have you got those shoes? Nah. And I knew he had, but I just couldn't do anything about it because I could actually see on the cameras. And what I was sure was that shoe, and he went over to different, and he given to him. And I'm like, right, I've now got to try and find these. So it's all those things that have pointed me towards, right, I need to make this as simple as possible. And we've got the lad that do the podcast with, Joe. I've known Joe for years, but he's come in now, he's working with me as well. And he's the one who's basically made this text and everything the way it's done.
Yeah.
As simple as it can be.
It's the process side of it.
Yeah, 100%.
It's the backbone of the business, isn't it? We've done the same thing, through growing, similar to what you've done. What me and Liam have had to do is be the person that's doing delivery, so the creation, the build, the tech, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then you've got to get other people to do it, and it then changes your role, doesn't it? So then you're more managing the process and quality control, and then that's a whole new thing to get used to. But I think that's the beauty of business, isn't it? I think if you don't enjoy that process, in the negatives and the positives, then you probably shouldn't be.
Well, I definitely took my eye off the ball with Gianluca being there, the lad who's just left, because he tried to take so much on. I allowed him, and in the end, I could see it was draining him, and that's when, again, little mistakes were starting to happen from his point of view. Now he's gone. Everyone stepped up because they were all just letting him do it. Yeah. So now we have someone, it sounds stupid, I've separated into sections, so the soles that get done, literally just cleaning the soles, getting all the stuff out. There's someone who manages just that section, and there's, I think, 3 different people who do that part, but there's one manager of that. The cleaning section, if I'm not there, we have a lad who just manages that. So if anyone needs to ask questions, they go to him. And then the front, Joe, he's so good with the customer. He's a bit like me. Yeah. So again, he manages that, the organisation. So anyone needs to know anything about what's going on with stuff, they go to Joe.
It's strange though, because I might be wrong in saying this, I don't know. There isn't a blueprint, is there?
No.
There's not a blueprint for GRAEL.
No, not at all.
Business like GRAEL.
I'm still learning every day. I'm learning because shoes change all the time as well.
Yeah.
So
all of a sudden they bring out a new shoe and you go, right, we've got to learn how to.
100%.
What are the downfalls? What are we going to experience?
I've learned the hard way.
Materials, textures.
Yeah. I've ruined shoes myself at the very beginning because I didn't know what I was doing. Thrown vanish all over a shoe because I had grass stains. Come down, the shoe was black. It was a white shoe in the morning. Do you know what I mean? I've just burnt the shoe to pieces. So just learned the hard way, but that's why I'm more cautious now, and I teach them to be very cautious, test things, do little bits here, there, everywhere. Don't just go full pelt. Yeah. When I see these videos of other shoe cleaners and they're just using steamers all over it, I'm just like, that's not going to turn out.
Is your competition, are there many other shops, or is it online?
There's, from what I can remember, I think there's only like one. I think actual shop front. I think there's only one other shop front ones in Liverpool. In terms of busyness, from what I can gather, because the product we use is from a company in Scotland who also have a shoe cleaning. Speaking to their reps, they did say we order the most product.
That would give you an idea that you
that's in England. So whether that puts us as the busiest in England, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Then again, your margin's one thing, isn't it? And could be the busiest, but not the most profitable. Like,
exactly.
Ways you can break it down.
Because you look at London prices, and they're charging for a clean anything from £40. The company that we got the product off, Sneakers ER, for something that we charge maybe £30-35 for, they were charging over £100, and that was just like, that wasn't the London one. They're based in Scotland, so it's like.
Then you look at how much they're having to pay the staff and how much is the rent. There's so many.
Yeah,
really
got a lovely big shop. Yeah, no, it's so difficult. And I said, you look at the ones, there's people just doing it from the, like I started from the kitchens at home, from the bedrooms. They're still charging £20-30. So their margins will be bare minimum. So if they can get enough in, you're making good money. So yeah, it's
such a unique business.
And it's. We were speaking about it today. We were talking about AI and how AI is going to sort of take over a lot of things, a lot of businesses. But I was saying, luckily enough, touch wood, that's one of the businesses that they can't, because...
I'm not really sure how it could.
No. People have tried to invent. I followed a company that dropped a shoe cleaning box, which was all done. You put your shoe in, lock it up, and it's meant to clean it in the best way it can. Like, fell flat on its nose after about a month. Because it was just ruining shoes.
It's a good point, that, actually. I didn't really think about it.
Yeah,
there isn't really much that AI could take over.
No.
And you've already got, like, we sort of semi-automated processes in place, so there isn't really anything where, like, a front of house member of staff's going to all of a sudden be out of a job because somebody's...
Yeah.
You already got that efficient enough. You can't really get that any more cost-effective, can you, really?
No.
Person in front of the house.
That's it. Unless bring in, like, a Tesla robot or something that can start doing bits, but no, nothing at all.
Maybe if you make your shoes...
Yeah,
that's maybe where some AI.
Yeah, I'll have to have a look at that one. But
AI renders or something.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think that nearly wraps us up. It's been honestly so interesting. I knew it would be, but
thank you, appreciate it.
Just to finish off with you, I feel like I'm the student here. I feel like you've been in business so long, you've done so many different things.
Yeah.
What for anyone listening or watching? What would be your number one piece of advice for somebody that maybe knows that they're a business owner at heart, knows that they're an entrepreneur, but hasn't yet really pinned down what that business is or what they want to do?
I'd say go if you've got an idea, go with your heart and your gut, and if you're that determined to do it, it will work. As I said, for me, I went to people and said, "This is what I'm going to do," and that won't work, but I'm living proof it does. And don't be like what I was. Don't be like my dad, basically, as well. Take the risk, because if it doesn't work, you can always do something else. There's always going to be something. You're never going to just be like, "No, I'm done."
Yeah.
There's always jobs. There's always work. There's always opportunities, and something will stick. Something will work.
Just own it.
Just own it. 100%. Definitely.
I think we can finish on that. Thanks very much.
Thank you. That was good, thank you.
Brilliant, wasn't it? So that was an incredible episode with Michael from GRAEL. I kind of didn't really know what to expect, but at the same time, it was everything that I wanted it to be in terms of a completely unique business that everyone that listens or watches this will never really be exposed to. It's a cool idea. It's very Liverpool. Everything about it is very Liverpool, and Michael is as well, but he's got that Greek background, which, as you can tell, is ultra entrepreneurial. So I hope you enjoyed it. I think my number one takeaway from it was just the trying things, like how many different businesses, and you would probably look at Michael and GRAEL as a brand and think it's established and he's got it all figured out. But as you can tell, he's done a lot of different businesses. A lot of things haven't worked, and some things have. As he said with his advice at the end, give it a go, own it, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But if you've got that fighting spirit, something will work in the end. So thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and obviously subscribe if you're listening on Spotify and Apple, and we'll see you next time.